At Curriculum Track, we are so excited to release our brand new version later in June. During this short video, I want to show you some of the highlights of Curriculum Track 2.0. So let's go ahead and take a sneak preview. First of all, we're excited about the clean, easy to use, icon-based menu. Notice it's icon-based, easier to navigate on touchscreens versus the old traditional where it was just text-based. Also, you'll notice that this menuing actually will change as the resolution gets smaller. So if you're on a tablet or a smartphone, the menu actually becomes a hamburger menu rather than the icon-based menu that you would use on your computer. Also, you'll notice that each of the areas is color coordinated. So for instance, if I'm working in the standards and benchmarks area, we're going to be using green. If I'm going to be working in the reports, all the reports are going to be based with this purple color. And if I'm going to be working with curriculum maps, you'll notice that all the headings are going to be red. A second feature is the updated user interface for each of the pages. For instance, let's take a look at the curriculum maps area. And to really show this, I want to show the old system simultaneously. So here's a map in the old version of Curriculum Track. And this particular school has a number of fields. And so those columns get fairly narrow. And notice what happens when you add lots of content. This is one unit alone. So to see your entire map and get a feel for the scope and sequence, notice all the scrolling that I need to do to be able to look at that map. With the new version, it cuts it off or truncates it so that I can very easily scroll and see all the units in quarter 1, in quarter 2, in quarter 3, and quarter 4. Also, you can read part of the information, but if you want to expand it and see it all, you can click anywhere in this bar that you see here, and you'll be able to read all the content. And if you want to compact it or contract it again, you can do that. Let's look at it in an expanded form again as well. We also made it so it's very easy. For instance, if I want to look closer at one of these standards or benchmarks that is attached to this unit, I can click on it. And notice it has the full description here, but it also shows which courses it's attached to and so forth without having to open this up in a new window. It's all right here, and I can close it, go to the next one if I want to, and I can close it with the X at the top or with the close button on the bottom. So again, these are all user interface items that make it so much easier to work with your map itself. Another thing that we did is we eliminated most of the pop-ups or overlay screens within Curriculum Track. Again, if I go back to the old system, and if I wanted to, so let's get back to the top here again, and let's say that I want to edit the benchmarks that are attached to the screen. Notice that it has an overlay or almost like a pop-up on top of the regular screen. It whites out the regular screen and brings this on top. However, that's a really tough, sometimes it can be hard to find the save and close buttons depending on what resolution you're on, and becomes very, very difficult on a phone environment. So with the new system, when I click on this paperclip, notice what it does is it uses the whole screen, opens it in a new page, so I can do my work and say, make my change. And notice that as I scroll up and down, we have what's called sticky buttons. They're going to stay here at all times. I can click save and I'm right back where I started. So again, we eliminated most of the pop-up screens. The last item that I want to highlight is the user interface is much more mobile friendly, but even more so, we went so far as to build specific mobile versions of key pages. For example, if I'm working in the units area, so let's go to units and Math 2, and let's choose this pre-assessment unit. So here's my unit. Notice that it looks very similar to what it did in the old version where you can have multiple column formats and so forth. However, if you are on a mobile phone, so let's make it really small like a mobile phone environment. And let's refresh this page or go back to it once again. What the system will do is it'll recognize what type of device you're on. And so now we're on the mobile version instead. And so I can select my unit once again. And notice that it has each of these fields so you can expand if you want to look at the course resources, look at the lesson plans, look at the benchmarks. So you can very easily, with your finger on your smartphone, move up and down, swiping up and down to see the various parts. And if you want to dig into any of these, you can expand it. And notice you can also edit right within here and add attachments to any of these fields. And we have other places within the system that are more mobile friendly and smartphone friendly, if you will. So this will just give you a taste of why we are so excited about the new version of Curriculum Trak coming later in June of this year. Thank you.